Ah, welcome to the Red Bin Challenge number 2. The Red Bin Challenge is a new series I started here on the channel where I show you guys a bin full of movies and you guys pick out the one that me and the Cheetah, who is downstairs here with me, we're at a new filming location, um, and we'll review it. We'll talk about it. So, among the many movies that we looked at, the 28 we looked at, the one that got the most votes for this round is Valentine, the Dark Avenger, which was released on Shout Factory. I picked this one up at Family Video before they closed, obviously, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a little bit. Now, when I looked at it, I looked at it, I initially thought this movie was set in Russia. It was about a Russian superhero. And, of course, I was wrong. It's set in Indonesia. And it's concerning a Indonesian superhero. It's actually based on a Skylar Comics, which is based in Indonesia. And I know we're doing a second a superhero movie after we did Officer Down, based that was on a comic. But whereas everything went wrong with Officer Down, just about everything went right with Valentine, the Dark Avenger. I'm really happy to say. I really liked this movie quite a bit. I thought it was a lot of fun. Uh, a little bit. It was the Dark Avenger is a good title for it because I quite honestly, for an origin story, this was pretty dark. Um, the story basically is about a young man named Bono who is a movie producer wannabe, and he wants to start a movie. He wants to create a superhero, and so people can look up to her. He happens to be as American living in Batavia City in Indonesia, which is pretty heavily hit by crime and is led by a masked figure known as Shadow, who's uh, who's causing a lot of havoc. So Bono, who's played by Matthew Settle, what he does is he under pretense of getting the movie made, what he wants to create his own heroine. So while he and his friend Juan are talking, they happen to see a young lady in a cafe take down some thugs and she's extremely skilled in the martial arts. So he approaches her and offers her the role in this movie that he's making. And so the young lady, her name is Sir Maya, or, or Maya. I'll call her Maya. She agrees to do it. Uh, but what she doesn't realize is that the filming that they're doing is going to be guerrilla filming, and they're actually going to go out and truly fight crime. It's not going to be a set. It's not going to be with actors. It's going to be her really doing it on her own. It gets off a little bit bumpy. I mean, she goes out there. She's wearing a cape and a little costume, and she manages to barely survive her first encounter. The cape doesn't. The cape almost kills her. So Juan, who also happens to be a designer as well as the cameraman, comes up with a better outfit for her, and so she takes on the criminals in Batavia City and starts, getting people to notice her. Uh, the Shadow also takes an interest for his own reasons, and while Valentine is fighting the riffraff at first, but sooner or later she comes into contact with the Shadow and his three female minions. She has both Maya and Bono each have their own backstory that's really tinged in grief and anger. Um, Maya's dad it was a high-ranking police official who committed suicide, and we find out through Bono that he's not really there mentally either because he lost his family, and when they were killed in a high pursuit. They happened to run into some thugs who were trying to escape from the police, and we find out that his daughter, 7-year-old daughter that was killed, was named Valentine. So basically, what he's trying to do, he's trying to make Valentine his hand of vengeance, so to speak. Um, Valentine is really quite unprepared for exactly what she has to do. I mean, she's a good fighter, but it's obviously that there's no movie being made. But she sticks with it until they have the first clash of the shadow, where she almost dies. She quits because she thinks that Bono was insane, and I'm agreeing with that. Um, but then circumstances lead her to come back as Valentine and to take on the shadow one last time. There is a twist ending, and it's a good one. Um, and the fight scenes are extraordinarily good. For this movie, the actress's name who played Valentine is a young lady named Estelle Linden. I've never seen her before, but she's really kicks ass. This does actually has a feel of kick ass more than not. I mean, you get that feeling. High martial arts. Um, there's really not too many. There's not really much gunplay as far as the Shadow. I mean, and Valentine go. They're basically the hand to hand. So that was cool to see. Matthew Settle, who he plays Bono. Like I said, he checked out pretty much when his family died. He was looking for vengeance too. Um, so you definitely know that, based on what he's asking Valentine to do, nobody would do it. um, the other two people that were the key in this movie were Ahmed Effendi, who played Valentine's brother Umbra, and Ari. I can't pronounce the last name, but he played Juan, and he turns out to be Valentine's best friend, and he also designs her gear and her outfit. Um, I like this movie quite a bit. Like I said, it's shot on location. It's a little bit of CGI, but actually most of it was done by practical effects. A lot of car crashes, a lot of explosions, a lot of great fight scenes. Definitely exciting. The character Valentine comes up with a pretty unique way of using handcuffs. Um, so that was inventive. The story was well written, well defined. It was, like I said, it was everything Officer Down wasn't. Whereas that was totally sloppy and unfocused. This was focused and quite sharp. It had a story to tell. It told it well. And it is an origin story, because at the end of the movie we see that Valentine is just beginning. So overall, yeah, this movie rocked, and highly recommend it. And thanks for picking it. Thanks for voting for it. So this is Dark Valentine, and one quick thing: special features go. There's a trailer for it and a photo gallery, and that's about it. Nothing else. Pretty lean and mean. You could probably get this over at Shout Factory, shoutfactory.com. You could also get this probably at secondary markets, eBay, Amazon, whatnot. So that's it. And if you like what you saw, if you watched this, drop a comment. Tell us what you think of it. And if you like what you hear, hit the sub button, and hit the bell. And we appreciate you joining us along the ride. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and I will be doing the Red Bin Challenge 3 in a few minutes. All right, looking forward to it. And until next time, peace.